Hi there, my name is Tracy. This is the 3-Wick Thesis candle channel, and today I have for you an episode from my lit review series on Bath & Body Works' brand new collection of luxury line single-wick candles. Now usually my lit review episodes will cut to my first impression. I go over scent note, wax, wicks, talk about how it smells on cold, rank it on cold ranking, and then I cut the video, go out and burn, come back and share with you how these evolve and talk about strength and throw. This is going to look a little bit different today because for the first time in my history of burning a collection of candles, none of these evolved on warm. So instead of giving you repeat content that you've already seen in the haul video, I thought I would just link below the initial haul, which happened on a Saturday ritual with the hubs video. So I'll put the link to that video below. I'll also pop a card up here in case you have your cards on, if you want to see cold impression, wick information, and all that kind of stuff. Today, I'm just going to talk about the scent notes and what it smells like and how it performs, because to me, none of these change from cold to warm. What you got sniffing it in store is what you would get when you get home and burn it. The difference is some of these are really elevated in terms of performance and others not so much. The other thing is I normally only do one ranking, but I am struggling to rank these because a lot of the ones that I really like didn't perform, and vice versa. So I'm going to rank these two different ways. I'm going to rank them by scent preference, and then I'm going to rank them by performance. The other thing I want to disclose before we get into this review is that I am not a personal body care fragrance person. I don't wear perfume, I don't wear colognes, I don't wear anything that smells perfumey or cologne-y. I don't wear much of anything because I'm very sensitive when smells are on my body. So I know that each one of these is technically a dupe for a fancy schmancy perfume. My perspective with this review is coming from the candle world. So I'm not going to have the insights into how these compare to different perfumes. I'm not coming to this review with a perfume brain, I guess, if that makes sense. I actually don't like perfume, so in some ways I think that could be hurting some of my evaluations of these candles. So keep that in mind. This is solely a candle lover's perspective, not a perfume and candle lover's perspective. And there are those of us out there who only like the candles, and there are plenty of other reviewers on YouTube who love both perfume, cologne, and candles. So check them out if you want to know more. For me, it's just the candle perspective. And speaking of cologne and perfume, I'm going to start with my ranking of my least favorite in terms of fragrance, and that was the Mediterranean Mirage fragrance. Now this one I really wanted to love, and the scent notes would tell me that I would. It has the fresh bergamot, which I always love bergamot. It has radiant amber, which is the same note that's in the stars, which I really enjoy, and smooth. The label says musks, but the website says musk. I don't know which one's the typo. I love musk. So I just assumed when I first smelled this in store that I would really like it. I actually tried it in body cream first, and it was really overwhelming on the car ride home, and I couldn't wait to get back to my bathroom and wash it off my body. I knew that the candle would smell like the body cream, or at least come close. Even on cold sniff, I got that really sharp note that reads like cologne to me. I had hoped that that would lessen on warm. It did not. So the way that the radiant amber and the fresh bergamot play off of each other makes this a very, very sharp fragrance. Super bright, super sharp. So way up on the register, it hits me in a space within my sinuses, within my nose, that tells me I'm going to get a headache from it. I didn't actually get a headache, but it created that sort of panic of like, if I don't burn this out, I'm going to be uncomfortable. Now, I know some of y'all, you watch my videos and I say things smell cologne-y and they don't to you, so keep that in mind. To me though, this is a cologne-y candle. The hubs would agree. He also said it was cologne-y. He asked me which one I was burning. I told him and he said, that just stinks. And I was like, does it smell? What do you smell? Why does it stink? He's like, it's cologne. I was like, okay. So both of us think this smells like cologne, but inherently bergamot and amber don't usually smell cologne-y to me. If anything, amber usually smells perfumey. So I don't know what's going on here. All I can say is I wish the musks was plural because this needs something more warm and grounding to bring that down. It's just super high pitched. So I will not be continuing to burn this one. This is going to be a part of a destash because neither of us are really enjoying it. Sad because I love the color. It's also performing well in terms of burn. I'm not having issues with tunneling. It came to full wax pool, almost the quickest of the bunch here. I'll also add that I do use a Hurricane for my single wicks. I bought one at Crate & Barrel that is just the perfect size for single wick candles, and I do think that that has helped to reduce the tunneling that I used to get with single wicks. So I'll put a link to that Crate & Barrel Hurricane below in case you want to pick that up. It's not super cheap, but it's affordable as well. It's kind of mid-range for Hurricane prices. So this one, least favorite, would not buy this again, but if you love really sharp bergamot amber notes, you probably would like that. The rest of these, I enjoy them all. As someone who is sensitive to perfume and cologne, none of these other ones gave me any issues. I like all of the fragrances. It just becomes an issue of how I rank these, and the two that rank lower are ones that I just feel like they're maybe a little bit boring. So number 4 is Inner Angel. This one is scent notes of spiced apple cognac, tonka bean, and warm praline. And there's just something about this one that's, as the kids say these days, mid, which basically means like meh, it's okay. It doesn't smell bad. I think the issue that I have is that the way these scent notes play together, and I don't know if it's the booziness from the cognac tied in with the sweetness from the tonka, and maybe a little bit of that woodiness. To me, when I burn this, I feel like I'm burning a raisin. Like it smells like a raisin to me. It smells syrupy and sweet. There's nothing in here that would make me think there's a raisin note, but something about the way the cognac, and maybe it's also playing off the praline, it ends up just kind of smelling like a body care raisin. I get a hint of something that feels just a little bit perfumey, almost reads a little bit deodorant-y to me. And then it turns into this kind of warm, syrupy fragrance that's sweet from the praline, probably vanilla from the tonka bean, and then boozy from the cognac, and it just reads like raisin to my nose. This one, although you will see has a full wax pool and no tunneling, this one takes a really long time to pool out. I don't know if it's the dark wax or if it's the, the way the wick is working with how the wax is formulated. It's not a problem for me because I usually burn my single wicks for anywhere from, 2 to 5 hours at a time, depending on how they're performing. So it's not an issue for me to leave it running that long, but if you are looking to light and extinguish and move on with your life, this one will be slow to come to full pool. Number 3, and I love this one, I really do, but I also find it to be a bit, mid. It's a bit boring. It's a bit been there, done that. It's covered in roses. It's a beautiful rose fragrance. It's ruby berries, sugared rosebuds, and blush amber. And honestly, to me, my nose, this is just straight up a sweet rose fragrance. I don't really get the sense of an amber note in here. There's nothing super sharp or bright. It doesn't even read perfumey to me. I certainly don't get the juiciness of a berry, although it is ruby berry, which makes me think maybe it's supposed to be like grapefruit style, so maybe a little bit tart berry. I'm not sure what that means. But this just smells like a rose fragrance. It's fresh, it's sweet, it smells like a beautiful red rose or a beautiful rose garden that's very fragrant. This one I haven't burned as much. I actually only burned this one twice. Not having any tunneling issues with this one either. I don't know why with my review I didn't really gravitate towards this one. I think it just doesn't feel like the right season to me. If it were, Mother's Day or spring, summer, I probably would have ripped through this one a lot, but it doesn't feel right for the season, so I just stopped using it. Probably put this in the drawer and save it for spring because I think it will be perfect in the spring. So if you like rose, maybe just a tad perfumey, you'd want to pick this one up. Number 2, and I really, really love this fragrance, especially on cold, Free as a Flower. You'll notice this is the one I have burned the most. Not quite halfway done, but very close. This is Wild Orange Flower, Bright Lavender, and Creamy Vetiver. And the vetiver in here is just so nice. It is earthy, it's grounding, it's warm. It plays really nice with, I get more orange flower than I do lavender in here. And to me, orange flower usually smells like almost, it's like pollen to me. It smells a bit powdery, a bit sharp, a bit bright, a bit sweet. And the lavender is kind of in the background. It's more of like a sweet, almost laundry-esque lavender, but it's not sharp. I think you could argue it's a little bit deodorant-y in that regard. So love, love, love the fragrance on this. This has been the one I gravitated towards the most, was really enjoying the scent, but stay tuned because I have some information about the strength and throw on that one. It's also burning really clean. Haven't had any issues with tunneling on that one at all. My number one, and I love this. I didn't even realize that that's what this was called. This is how naive I am to the perfume world. I got a wax melt sample. I think Charity sent it to me, and it was called Black Opium. And I was like, wow, this is delicious. I love Black Opium. And I just assumed that was a scent note. I didn't even know that was a perfume dupe. So I already loved this in the wax melt world. And then y'all said this is Black Opium. And I'm like, wait, I thought that was a scent. Oh, it's a perfume. Looked it up. Yeah, it's a perfume. So I do like Black Opium, which I know that this is a dupe of, which explains why I probably like this one, because I liked that dupe in the wax melt world. This is ripe plum, rich almond flower, and addictive coffee bean. Now, when I sniffed the lotion in store, actually it was the body cream, I feel like I got a hint of coffee. This candle has no coffee in it. I'm not even sure why they would refer to something as addictive coffee bean. This has no coffee bean at all. This one is perfumey, but I think the way that these rich notes, rich almond flower, and the way that the ripeness of the plum, there's like this sweet, earthy, grounding vibe to this. I couldn't identify this as plum or almond flower if you asked me to. It's just this beautiful, earthy fragrance that feels a bit feminine, a bit witchy, a bit mysterious to me. So warm and pleasant when lit. I haven't ripped into this one too much, but it's not because I don't like it. It's because I'm kind of hoarding it a bit. I am having some tunneling with this one. I felt like maybe the dark wax on this was causing problems. And this one, you know, I had this lit yesterday because I was filming the burn footage yesterday. I had this lit probably, this is 3 or 4 hours, and it never came to full pool. Now, the good news with the Single-Wicks is if you do get that on the wall, if you just keep burning it, eventually it will slough off into the wax pool. Usually once you get to about the halfway point, because then the candle jar starts to act as a hurricane and it gets the glass really hot. So don't stress too much if you're seeing those rings around the top. As long as it's not a super bad tunnel, it will recover. So that is my ranking on scent. Now I'm going to share with you my ranking on strength and throw. Let me just say all of these threw the same. So all of them were able to fill my bathroom space. I didn't test these in my usual single car converted garage because the space is too large for a single wick. I tested them all in my bathroom. I began that test with the door open, and some of these I shut the door to see if that helped. Maybe stuff was leaking out into the other room. In those cases, closing the door did help. It confined the scent, but I still didn't get a lot of power. So there's quite a range here. And like I said, unfortunately, a lot of the ones I liked were not the strongest performers. So the worst performer, breaks my heart, is Free as a Flower. And one of the reasons I burned this one, not only was I gravitating towards it, but I had tested it a lot more. Couldn't smell it at all on the first burn with the door open. Shut the door on the second burn and then was like, well, I think I kind of get a sense of it. Continued to burn it, having hope that it would bloom, having hope that it would get stronger, and it just never filled out the space. You could smell it. I mean, it was in the space, but it never made you feel like there was any strength to it. It's very weak, which is so sad because it is beautiful on warm. So Free as a Flower gets the F in strength and throw, unfortunately. Number 4, which, you know, not too sad about because I'm not crazy about something that smells like raisin to me. That is the Inner Angel. This one was also super light on strength. I was expecting with that apple note and with the praline note, those are 2 fragrances that usually have some strength. Apple is usually really strong and praline can be like cloyingly strong. And in no way does this deliver in terms of strength. Again, with the door shut, I got a sense that there was something burning in the bathroom. It kind of just smelled like you had made like something sweet, like a caramel or a praline or like an apple caramel or something. Like you made it yesterday and the scent was lingering in the room. It's that light. So not strong at all. It did fill the space with the door shut. By the way, my bathroom is super small. It's mostly washer, dryer, and shower with about a 3-foot walkway to the toilet and, you know, maybe a 10 by 10 space. It's a very small room. You would expect that a single wick could fill that space. It could not. 3 would be Midnight Addiction. This one starts to ramp up right? It's a C. It's an average. I feel like it's actually a perfect in between to the two I've already done, which were super weak, and the next two, which are super strong. This one's just kind of mid-range in terms of strength. I got its presence. I could smell it when I walked into the bathroom. It was a beautiful fragrance. I knew enough to know, yes, there is a candle burning and it is midnight addiction, but it did not overwhelm me when I walked in the door. And this is one of them that I would actually like to overwhelm me. I like this fragrance so much. I want it to be stronger. And I'm not the type of person to buy 2 single wicks and burn them in my bathroom because it's just not my thing. I don't even like burning 1 candle in my bathroom, let alone 2. So this one, I probably will repurchase it just because I love the fragrance, but it does not deliver in terms of strength. Now, Covered in Roses, there's a huge jump between that one and this one. This is like 2 or 3 times the strength of this one and like 10 times the strength of one of these, okay? So this is really strong, very strong. If you do not like rose and you think, well, maybe I'll just pick it up and you know, it'll be subtle and I won't mind, you will absolutely mind this one. This one is strong. I did actually have this on my stovetop out here in the open concept space yesterday to do burn footage, and it was stinking up my kitchen, if that tells you anything. It didn't come out into the other spots of the open concept, but I could smell this pretty well in the kitchen space. So this thing is a beast of a single wick. If you like rose and you want some strength, pick this one up. And number 1, unfortunately, strongest one in this bunch is Mediterranean Mirage. Now I want to highlight that that could mean a couple of things. It could mean, number 1, that this really is the strongest in the collection. But number 2, it could be that my sensitivity to cologne and perfume fragrances makes this feel a lot stronger than what it is. I was talking to one y'all about the bubblegum fragrance from Goose Creek. And to me, that particular candle is beast-like. It's pretty strong. And you had said, oh, well, I think it's really weak. And I thought, man, I wish mine was weak, you know? And I made the connection that when I smell that candle, it reminds me of having to swallow amoxicillin medicine when I was a kid. And it's actually kind of repulsive. I think I'm going to destash it. Like, I actually really don't like the sort of like anxiety it's evoking in me from smelling like amoxicillin. I had really bad ear infections as a kid. And so I'm like, I think, you know, maybe it's not actually strong. Maybe it's strong to me because it's triggering something in my brain that's creating anxiety in the same way that the cologne vibe to this one freaks me out thinking I'm going to get a headache. And therefore, maybe I am much more sensitive to a fragrance like this. So keep that in mind. This is strong to me because I don't like cologne vibes. And if you don't smell cologne on this, it might not be as strong. You might not be perceiving it as strongly as I do. So something to keep in mind. Again, I don't want this one. It's going away. It's too strong. Hubs won't allow it in the house. Too bad, because I would have loved to have had that strength with this one. I love Free as a Flower, but it just did not deliver. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of these. I won't be able to answer what these are dupes for, but if y'all know, you can put those in the comments below as well. And that way it helps my other viewers who are more into perfume and cologne than I am. If you liked this video and you appreciate it, give me a thumbs up. That always makes me feel good. If you feel like I saved you a reward or any cash and you want to pass that along to support my channel, super thanks are always appreciated, but never required. If you want to see more content like this, I do Bath & Body Works content pretty regularly. Make sure you're subscribed and turn on notifications in case you want to know right away when I release new stuff, which is pretty much on a daily basis, sometimes more than once. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate y'all, and I'll see you in my next review. Bye-bye.